The Duchess of Sussex, 41, discussed her time as a briefcase girl on the latest episode of her Spotify podcast, Archetypes. Although Meghan insisted she was grateful for the work while she was still trying to land acting roles, the Duchess recalled how one member of the staff would always comment on her appearance moments before the show went live. I was still really grateful as an auditioning actress to have a job that could pay my bills. I had income, I was part of the union, I had health insurance, it was great. And yet I also studied international relations in college. And there were times when I was on set of Deal or No Deal, and thinking back to my time working as an intern at the US Embassy in Argentina in Buenos Aires, and being in the motorcade with the Secretary of Treasury at the time, and being valued specifically for my brain. Here I was being valued for something quite the opposite. She continued about how the girls were treated behind the scenes on the game show. All the girls, we would line up and there were different stations for having your lashes put on or extensions put in or the padding in your bra. We were even given spray tan vouchers each week because there was a very cookie cutter idea of precisely what we should look like. It was solely about beauty and not necessarily about brains. Like I said, I was thankful for the job, but not for how it made me feel, which was not smart. According to Rod Sheldon, public relations manager at Reputation Management Ignite, Meghan Markle's podcast series Archetypes and the topics discussed during its episode appear to be playing into the drama that faces the Duchess of Sussex. The PR expert believes the podcast gives the impression to be a platform for the Duchess to push her agenda rather than host a conversation. Well, they're two sides of the same coin, aren't they? The expert said, the Archetypes podcast is backed by Meghan's Archwell charity campaign to help women in need who have inspired or helped others in the US, but the episodes and topics seem to be playing into the drama that faces Meghan. The episodes feel self-indulgent. There isn't a balance. Take, for example, Meghan's comments about appearing on Deal or No Deal, and it making her not feel smart. That's her view, but there are a lot of women, including Meghan's co-star Claudia Jordan, who would say it was a smart move indeed to appear on that show, and it would be beneficial for Meghan to be aware of that. But on the podcast, which has a huge platform with a vast audience, it feels as though she is pushing her own agenda rather than having a conversation that might balance the narrative, something that she needs to do to readdress her reputation. The topics Meghan is choosing to cover on the podcast, such as the demystification of a dragon lady, the duality of diva with the likes of Mariah Carey, also seem to be poking the reputational bear, causing drama and media attention. It's almost as though she's saying, I'm not a diva, I've been wrongly mislabelled and treated, but then adding to the wheel of drama with the content she's producing. In addition, a royal biographer has slammed Meghan Markle's podcast Archetypes as dull. Author Angela Levin said the Duchess of Sussex tries to make herself out to be a victim in each episode of her Spotify series. The commentator also argued the former Suits actress is only interested in pursuing Meghan's truth. Meghan seems to want to put everything about her in each of the podcasts, so it's actually quite dull if you listen to several of them as I have, Miss Levin told the program. You hear the same thing that she's a victim, she's a victim, she's a victim for so many different reasons. It's the same thing about Meghan's truth, which is not necessarily the truth.